Today, a small legal win for Illinois State University as more than 300 of their employees are on strike.
A judge in McLean County Court denied AFSCME Council 31's request for a temporary restraining order aimed at stopping certain contracted services during the strike. Kayla Johnson in the newsroom with more tonight. Kayla.
Janice, Tyler, the ruling clears the way for Illinois State University to keep using outside vendors it says are supplementing university employees who maintain campus property and help provide a clean and safe learning and working environment.
The documents that we uncovered and submitted to the court just this morning showing how these shocking sums that the university is paying for replacement workers, plus lining the pockets of these private companies, instead of just addressing workers' concerns and settling a fair agreement.
The union says it's frustrated by the decision and argues the university is pouring money into replacement workers and private companies instead of settling a fair contract. Lindell says the union disagrees with the ruling and says the union is now weighing next steps.
We disagree with the judge's decision on our request for that temporary restraining order. We are considering our options, whether that's an appeal or other steps. But I want to note the judge did make clear that violations of the Strikebreakers Act are a serious criminal offense.
The university also says it responded to a Freedom of Information Act request received Monday, April 13th by providing the union copies of 3 vendor contracts totaling in about $116,800 per week. ISU notes the actual cost will depend on the hours invoiced. ISU says it's following the state's procurement process to ensure compliance with applicable laws. There are still no planned negotiation times scheduled for the two sides. Janice, Tyler.